Since we got the shocking turn from Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed on Seth Rollins, there's been one thing on my mind. And besides the obvious, have Bron and Bronson actually turned, or is this all just another elaborate plan by the visionary himself, Seth Rollins? I'm really curious into what happens next with this group. So the purpose of today's video is we're going to be taking a look into what lies ahead next for Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, and this is all depending on if this turn from Bron and Bronson was legit or just another plan from Seth Rollins. Real quickly, before we get too far ahead in the video, I want to say, if you are a WWE fan, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. That is all we post is WWE related content, so if you're a WWE fan, again, consider subscribing. It's free. You can always change your mind later. So let's say that the vision as we know it is officially over. There is no more Seth Rollins in the group. It is only Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. What I want for this team is for them to still include Paul Heyman, but I want them to be a legit tag team, and I want them going after tag team gold. Not only would this legitimize them in showing that they can still do things without Seth Rollins, but it also is just a nice way of getting the tag team titles away from JD McDonough and Finn Balor. And I could legitimately see them winning the tag team titles and carrying them for quite some time, showing that they can win without Seth Rollins and have success without Seth Rollins. I think it's important to know that it was Bron Breakker who fired the first shot here. He was the one who initially turned on Seth Rollins. And then I don't want to say he kind of commanded Bronson, but he really kind of took charge of that whole situation. And I talked about it in my last video. Bron Breakker is a guy that is going to be main eventing WrestleManias for years and years to come, winning title upon title upon title. And by this point, I think we can all kind of agree that this is where WWE wants to push him, so why not start that push right now? So if that is the case, once they get through the tag team run with Bron and Bronson, let's say they want to add some new members. And when we're looking at new members for this new version of the Vision, we gotta remember one thing. Bring WWE into the new era and really start ushering in the future of the business. So kind of sticking with that theme, we're gonna stick with younger guys. And there's a couple guys that I think could really fit really well into this group, one of which being Trick Williams. For those that don't watch NXT, you're missing out. NXT is very fun. But Trick Williams has basically been the face of NXT since Bron Breakker got the call-up. And we literally saw WWE do the same thing with Trick Williams that they did with Bron Breakker. And they turned him heel, and that was when we really saw Bron Breakker really start coming into his own, and we really started to see the same with Trick Williams. And obviously, Trick Williams doesn't have the NXT title anymore. He just lost the TNA title, so there's literally nothing more for him to do in NXT, and I don't think there's much more for him to do in TNA. So calling him up and putting him in this group, I think could actually work very well. Another guy from NXT, Obafemi. Obviously, Obafemi just recently lost his NXT title, and kind of similar to Bron Breakker, I think WWE has this guy very high on the totem pole. Now, it would not surprise me at all if they elect to keep Obafemi down in NXT for the next year or so and give him the same treatment that they gave Bron Breakker and Trick Williams. But for a guy whose ceiling is as high as it is, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we did see Obafemi make the jump sooner rather than later and possibly join this group. One more from NXT that I have is Ethan Page. Now, obviously, this wouldn't be happening for quite some time, and that's something to keep in mind with both Obafemi and Trick Williams as well. But I think out of the entire NXT roster, Ethan Page is the most main roster ready. And I'm honestly kind of surprised that he's not on the main roster yet. Both his in-ring work and his character work are both freaking fantastic, and I think he could add a lot to a group that has Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed in it. Now, the thing about Ethan Page is I don't think his name is quite as big as a Trick Williams or Obafemi is, so having him slot into that group and kind of start building his own story on the main roster, I think actually could work very well. And if we want to look at main roster guys, I think one that immediately jumps out would be Ilya Dragunov. Obviously, Ilya Dragunov still dealing with an injury, but he was rumored to be coming back around September. So I don't know if WWE wants to bring him back right now, or they want to wait for the Royal Rumble, or if they even want to put him in this group in some way, shape, or form. But when you're talking about the future of WWE, you have to put Ilya Dragunov on that list. So those are just a couple names that I came up with that I think could be an interesting addition to this new version of the Vision if this is the way WWE wants to go. But again, this wouldn't be an overnight thing. This would be something that would take time because I do really, really think that Bron and Bronson should be going after the tag team gold, winning it, and carrying those titles for quite some time. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. What do you think happens next with this new version of the Vision? Obviously, yes, I know there is still a lot to learn and find out about what really is happening here. But what do you want to see happen? Do you want it to just be Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed with Paul Heyman? Or do you want to see Bron Breakker kind of become the leader of this group and possibly getting some more people added into it? So as always, let me know that stuff down below in the comments, and while you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. That is the only link in bio for a reason, and that is because it'll take you to all of the social media platforms for this channel, and I do suggest going and checking out our X page. Besides YouTube, I am most active over on X. We do updates for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and the PLEs. And above all else, I want the X page to be a place for wrestling fans to go and talk about wrestling, especially if you're like me and you don't have a lot of people to talk to about wrestling. So if you are like me and you're looking for a group of wrestling fans to talk about wrestling with, swing by an upcoming episode of Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, one of the upcoming PLEs, join in on the conversation, and maybe it's for you at the end of the day. Another place you can find us on is TikTok. Right now, since we are very early into that page's existence, the only content that goes up on TikTok is just clips from these videos and just another place for me to post when I upload a video on here to YouTube. But eventually, we are obviously going to be doing some of the other WWE wrestling-related things that take place over on TikTok. So if you're scrolling on your phone one day and you come across one of those videos, drop it a like, drop it a follow, show it some love in any way, shape, or form. Anything that you do is greatly, greatly appreciated by me. So with all that said and done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Both are free and both really, really help out the channel a lot. And of course, if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very, very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here because it genuinely means the world to me. And of course, stay tuned for more WWE content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.